Everyone loves to reminisce about their childhood, how things were much simpler and there weren't any worries to be had. As all people get older, the reality of the world begins to set in. Career planning, tough life decisions, and the worst of them all, your own bills to pay. As a 25-year-old American citizen, the pressing issue in my life right now is the fact that in America, you're automatically removed from your parents' health insurance plan when you turn 26. This, paired with a recent life experience, prompted me to choose the American healthcare system, specifically its issues, as the topic for my multimodal research project. At the beginning of May, my wife Kira decided that she was going to go to Target to buy a therapist Barbie because she finished her master's program to become a licensed clinical mental health counselor in Illinois. On the way back, someone decided to make a left turn during a red light, driving straight into the driver's side door of one of our cars. She had a panic attack and ended up going to the hospital to make sure that she didn't have any broken bones that she wasn't feeling due to adrenaline. Thank God she was all right, but a month later, we got the bills in the mail. The ambulance ride alone ended up being $1,200, let alone getting checked out at the hospital by a physician. Although she walked out without being given any treatment besides an ice pack, the bill ended up being $2,000 from Good Samaritan Hospital. There are two different types of healthcare in America: private healthcare and public healthcare. Private healthcare is insurance bought through a privately owned business, such as Blue Cross Blue Shield, who negotiate the cost of treatment with hospitals when someone they cover ends up being a patient. Public healthcare is healthcare provided by the U.S. government, such as Medicare and Medicaid. Other industrialized nations have universal healthcare, where the government creates a master list stating what healthcare providers can charge for their services. Because of the varying interpretation of the cost of care in the United States, the cost of healthcare is constantly upcharged. At hospitals, there's a job position known as a charge master. This person maintains the billable services for a hospital, as well as maximizes insurance reimbursements and patient cash pay. In short, this person is tasked with being the supervillain in all of this. They're the reason that people are charged $50 for one rubber glove, or $137 for an IV bag that costs the hospital $1 to buy. These upcharges stack up, leading to thousands of dollars of debt for people seeking non-critical medical care. These outrageous prices have not only put Americans in outstanding debt, but it's also led to a constant decline of people in America checking in on their health in general. The Kaiser Family Foundation, an accredited nonprofit organization that does research on the cost of medical care, published survey statistics stating that 1 in 4 adults have skipped or postponed getting health care they needed because of the cost. No one needing medical attention should have to avoid getting help because of the cost, but that's the sad reality of the capitalist society we live in. The Kaiser Family Foundation also published research pertaining to Americans filing for bankruptcy due to medical bills. It was found that in 2023, about 66.5% of all personal bankruptcies filed were due to medical debt. That means that in a room of 20 people going bankrupt last year, 13 of them were forced into that situation by the outstanding costs of medical treatment. While all of this is going on in the United States, other countries' healthcare systems are flourishing. Some of the best healthcare systems in the world belong to countries like Denmark, Germany, Canada, and Japan. On these lists of the best healthcare systems in the world, the United States is nowhere to be found. The question then stands, what are these countries doing differently that is working so well? What can America do to climb their way to the top of this list? The short answer to how the American healthcare system can be fixed is that there is no perfect fix. One option is for government regulation of prices on healthcare. A single-payer system would allow for the cost of healthcare to be consistent no matter where you get it from, but that would cost hospitals and private practices money. That would result in the closing of different locations, people losing their jobs, and a crash in healthcare in general. While the U.S. has the highest annual spending of any country in healthcare, a vast amount of it is feeding into the broken system. America's annual GDP in 2023 for healthcare spending was 17.3%, but over half of all the spending was utilized for private sector. This number is estimated to be around $3 trillion invested in private healthcare, crippling public spending. So taking money from private spending won't help, and giving money to the private sector continues the issue. My opinion on how the healthcare system can be improved rather than fixed is that health insurance companies must be held accountable. Healthcare payments could be broken down into 4 different categories: deductibles, co-payments, co-insurance, and premiums. Premiums are a consistent monthly payment that people must pay to insurance companies regardless of whether they utilize their insurance or not. Coinsurance is the percent of costs that you pay towards medical bills when utilizing your insurance. Co-payments are a payment that you make every healthcare visit that your insurance refuses to pay. Deductibles are what the insured person must pay per visit before their insurance pays anything at all towards medical bills. All these charges are super important to look at when considering what health insurance you personally want to sign up for, as they vary at each private company you're purchasing an insurance plan from. So here's a scenario to put all of this into practice. You or your wife are having a baby and are currently in delivery at the hospital. There's a complication and the umbilical cord is wrapped around the baby's neck, meaning that there must be a C-section procedure conducted. Because you live in America, the cost of a C-section is around $13,000, while no other country charges more than $8,000. Luckily, you made your $600 monthly premium payment, or the cost could be up to $51,000 in New Jersey, so the baby is delivered successfully. Your insurance isn't that great, and you haven't met your $10,000 annual deductible, so you're paying up until you hit that amount before insurance even steps in. Then you're hit with your co-insurance fee, the percentage you're paying, and just for showing up, you're paying a co-payment. On top of this, your insurance company is dodging the hospital, trying to avoid paying whatever they can, so for the next 3 months, with the newborn, you are the middleman between two different companies. Also, you're adding a child to your health insurance plan, so your monthly premium is going to raise $300 or more. The American healthcare system is far from perfect. It can be said, however, that America is one of the best in the world in terms of quality of healthcare. New, groundbreaking drugs are being purchased by the government constantly, allowing for the most advanced treatments to be given when needed. But at what cost?